Let's continue with the observance or the commemoration of Youth Day and the sacrifices of the young people back in 1976 in Soweto. The Ahmed Kathrada Foundation will host its inaugural parade. It will start at the Loftus Stadium and end at the seat of government. This is in the Union Buildings. That's where a memorandum endorsed by over 60 organizations will be handed over. And watching that space for us is our reporter Ahmed Kajee, who joins us live now. Ahmed, good morning to you. Do we know what's contained in that memorandum that's been signed by 60 organizations? What are they calling for?
Good day, Koli. What we are expecting today, as you have just mentioned, we will be leaving from the Loftus Stadium within the next half an hour to 45 minutes or so. The key things that are coming through and that we are expecting within this specific memorandum is actually around social justice, youth unemployment, and various other aspects which have been tackling the youth over the last few years and months, and specifically over the last 2 years, which we have seen since the COVID-19 pandemic, which started off in March of 2020. Gender-based violence is also a major part of what we are expecting to be part of the discourse this morning as well. But I think the best person to actually bring into this conversation is from the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, Irfan Mangera. Irfan, thanks for your time today. What exactly are you demanding for today?
We have a list of demands. Over 95 organizations have endorsed this parade for justice and change. In the demands are, number one, and the biggest priority for young people today is unemployment. We need jobs. We need jobs very urgently, and we need government to start acting on that mandate. Aside from that is a number of other issues around housing, around infrastructure, schooling and education. We see the poor state of schooling in our society, of overcrowding in schools, of flood toilets and poor infrastructure. Along with that is crime and drugs, which are affecting young people in communities, not having access to sporting facilities and recreational activities. These are some of the things that have been outlined. As you mentioned, gender-based violence is one of those that are top of our priority, because young women and children are continuously being harassed, abused and so on. And we really need to start dealing with this from a broad-based sort of sectoral approach.
Irfan, thanks for your time today. We'll be keeping you in touch with you throughout the morning. That's Irfan Mangera from the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, explaining that gender-based violence, unemployment, housing are some of the key factors which will be handed over within this specific memorandum over here at the Union Buildings. Just over my left-hand side and to my right as well, you will see people who have gathered here this morning, between about 50 and 100 people, if our estimates are correct, people who have arrived here. They will be leaving in about 35 to 45 minutes or so. That's the reports we have over here. That hopefully should start just after 10 o'clock this morning. And then what we will be expecting later on is that memorandum of demands being handed over at the lawns of the Union Buildings. And we do know that from 2015, the lawns of the Union Buildings have been a big part of what the youth structures have seen here in South Africa, especially with the Fees Must Fall movement, and now looking at Youth Day and various other challenges facing the youth, now looking specifically at unemployment, housing and access to resources, with the addition of gender-based violence. Fully.
All right. Ahmed Kajee, thank you very much. Live for us at the Loftus Stadium.